Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the K&F Concept K-Series Variable ND Filter 2 to 2000. We're going to be looking at what this filter is for and some testing as well. Now I know most of you have followed me because of the DJI-3, but it is important that I diversify the channel a bit. However, there will be some more drone content in the future as I have this to test as well. Obviously when the weather warms up, as it's been very chilly here in Toronto, even though we've had some nice weekends, if you've seen my POV photography videos, it's been very cold. If you're new, hello, my name is Demetrius and I create videos on drones, photography and everything in between. And it's a mix of entertaining and educational content. Subscribe to stay up to date. Now let's take a look at the K&F Concept Variable ND Filter. First of all, as a disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. I purchased this filter with my own money here, and it's actually on their budget end. So this is a variable ND filter from 2 to 2000, which is 11 stops of light. It has a nano coating and it's waterproof, and it comes in an array of sizes from 49mm to 82mm. And as a quick tip, if you're going to be buying filters, actually I'll put this at the end, that way you get to watch the whole video. It also comes with a 2-year warranty as well. Now the one thing I wasn't a fan of with K&F Concept on their website is they didn't make it clear what K series and D series and B series and X series meant. I actually had to look up what this meant. Yes, even though this was a lesser price than the X series, it still wasn't clear what the range is. Is it beginner, is it pro? However, this forum that I found made it quite clear, so now I know, and I'll put it on screen as well for you guys. So the K series is for the beginner, the D is for the enthusiast, X is for professional, and X Pro is flagship. So what is this filter for? Like, why do we need variable ND filters for both photo and video? So let's cover one of the main ones. The first one is long exposure photography. So if you want to do long exposures during the day, you need a very, very dark ND filter, hence the 1000 and 2000. So you can be able to have a really long shutter speed. Okay, so we're currently testing a long exposure with the ND 2 to 2000, the K&F filter, the K series. I can't remember my settings. I don't want to touch the camera at the moment. But yeah, we're doing a long exposure in manual mode. I think it was like F20 with a 30-second timer, and we're pretty much on the max. So we should get a ghost town with hardly anyone standing there. Oh, here we go. Those were the settings. So we see what the photo looks like. Not bad. And then you can get some cool long exposure photos, essentially making cities look empty or less empty. If you haven't seen my video with the DJI-3 with the ND 1000, 2000, you can click this link up here. Or was it up here? Anyway, up here, check out for the DJI-3 long exposure photography. Now I also use a variable ND to help me with car panning shots. I do like my car panning, and to do this without one is fine. However, your aperture is going to close up a lot and you might be like f20, f22. It may not even be enough, especially if it's a bright sunny day. Essentially with the variable ND, you can darken the filter a little bit, and that way you can have a wider aperture to be able to shoot at f5, f3, f2.8, whatever your heart desires. Another reason why you would want a variable ND filter, especially when it comes to shooting video, is to be able to keep your video settings consistent. Everyone talks about having a shutter speed double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 30 FPS, you want to be shooting at 1/60. If you're shooting at 60 FPS, 1/125, and so forth and so forth. So a variable ND filter allows you to do this during the day when it's really bright, and you can also have a more consistent aperture. So instead of having like f22, if you want that lovely bokeh, you can achieve that with this ND filter here by darkening the filter and then adjusting your settings accordingly when doing some filming. Okay, so let's take this off carefully. Okay, so we're overexposed right now because we don't have the ND filter on. And I could adjust this by closing the aperture. So we're about 7.1 on the aperture now to get a correct exposure. But if we're filming out and about and we wanted to focus in on our subject, you want to drop the aperture. So I'm going to put the ND filter back on. carefully without dropping it. There we go. So now that is on, we're underexposed by 1.3. I'm gonna open up the aperture all the way to 2.8, and then I'm gonna swivel the ND filter until we get a correct exposure, which is about there. So now if I stand in frame, it should catch me. So if I stand about here, hopefully it focuses. And lastly, as a bonus, just protect your lens, really. Normally when you're out and about shooting, you don't really have anything protecting the glass here. So if you do have like dust or just particles flying around, whether you're in the city or out in the suburbs, having a filter like an ND can help protect the lens and just have it at its minimum and you can just shoot normally. Put that protection on. So now let's move on to testing. Now the first thing I wanted to test was, is there vignetting with the K-series filter ND-2000 at its widest millimeters basically? And I tested this on 4 lenses. So I tested this on the Sigma 24-70, the Sony 70-350, the Sigma 16 f1.4, and my kit lens 18-135. And I'm glad to say that neither of them had any vignetting. And when comparing it to my Earth ND 2-400, which does have vignetting at its widest focal length, this already is better. Just so you know, I did have to use step-up rings as well with some of my lenses, but these are all the lenses that I have and I was able to test them on. So if you have one of these, at least you're aware that there is no vignetting with this at its widest. Now the other test that I performed was there an X at its maximum closure, so at ND 2000 essentially. Now again, I tested this with all of my lenses and there was a visible X when in photo mode. The only one that didn't have the visible X was the Sony 70-350, and I think it's because the focal length was already far in enough that this didn't show. However, the good thing is when you are shooting in video, I'm shooting on the Sony a6400, which I currently have right now. It has a small crop in factor, so the X at the ND 2000 isn't visible whatsoever. The weird thing is, when I was out field testing this, I didn't see the X when doing long exposure testing for photo mode. So, but you can see clearly from the B-roll that I'm testing and in field. But yeah, I didn't experience the X that much, even though it was visible during my first test, but out in the field it was fine. The other thing to note here is that K&F Concept did mention this on their Amazon listing, that there is a visible X with this filter. So I'm not too disappointed because I was completely aware that that was the case. Use that information as you wish. I didn't really experience this and I didn't have a problem shooting long exposure photos. I didn't see the X even after editing. Now the other thing with this filter is that there is no feedback between the notches. It's just smooth and you can just continually spin this. So it won't physically stop at its minimum or its maximum. That's kind of annoying. I wish it would tell me at the minimum and the maximum, so at least I know where it is, rather than just keep on spinning and relying on the on-screen information from the camera to tell me when my shutter speed or aperture is going to be increased or decreased. However, that is not the end of the world considering the price that you pay for this filter. Again, when comparing it to my Earth ND filter, it does have a physical stop at its maximum, but this is only 2-400. And the only reason I bought this new one is because this millimeter thread is actually too small to fit on my Sigma. So I wanted something a little bit larger, and I'll tell you in a moment towards the end of this video, the reason for this. Hey guys, Demetrius from the future here. So I actually forgot to mention this in the video, the tip that I wanted to say. When you are buying any sort of filter, my friend Tom gave me this advice and it will save you a lot of money. Buy the largest filter size possible, for instance 82 millimeters. So any lens that is smaller than that, just use step-up rings. And yeah, these are like, I don't know, 20 bucks. And then you buy the one filter and it will match all your lenses. So here are my final thoughts with the K&F Concept K-Series Variable ND Filter 2-2000. That is a mouthful. First of all, the amount you pay, how much did I pay for this? First of all, the amount you pay, I paid $53.99 Canadian dollars, which is actually a very reasonable price for such a huge range in having 11 stops of light here. So this is like my go-to now. I don't really need to buy an ND1000, an ND2 to 6 or whatever stops that you need. I just have one, which is perfect, saving myself a lot of money. Now, even though this is the budget end of K&F Concepts variable NDs, I didn't find any problems with it, even though I did see the visible X, as you saw earlier in the video, and that there's no feedback on the notch. I don't think that's the end of the world. It will still give me the results that I want to have, especially when car panning, long exposure photography, and video as well. You're not going to have any problems with this. So this is good value for money, and it begs the question, with their premium line series, what extra are you getting? If K&F Concept sent me one to test and to actually see the difference and whether they're actually paying double or triple the price for the X series or the X Pro series, is it going to be any better than the K series? The other thing to consider is when you look at their Pro lineups, they're only ND3 to 1000 or ND2 to 400. This is an ND2 to 2000. That is a huge range. So again, for the money paid, that's really good. The other great thing, no vignetting. That's a problem with some filters that you buy. The fact that I didn't experience vignetting with this filter was fantastic. That way I'm maximizing the full focal length of all my lenses, even at my widest, my Sigma 16. All the photos that were taken during my testing, I was using my Sigma 24-70. This is my newest lens. This is the lens I wanted to test. And as this is an 82mm, my Sigma was also 82mm, so didn't really need to use the step-up rings in comparison to other lenses that I have. Now, if you were to ask me if I was to buy a premium version, I don't know with the K&F Concept. However, if I was to pick one, I would actually pick Polar Pro, and that's because I have got here Polar Pro's mist filter, and I absolutely love this filter. And from the quality, what it gives you, yes, they're going to be way more expensive. I think like 6 times more expensive than the K&F Concept. However, if you had the budget and you wanted to get something premium, that's probably the one I would choose. But again, no issues with this, considering that you have that full range. By the way, the links to all these products will be in the description box down below, including the step-up rings and all the gear that I use. And this here, if you're interested in picking this up. If you go to buy this or anything else through those links, I get a small kickback, and it just helps the channel progress, and I can make more videos for you and buy more stuff to test and show you guys. So next week, we're going to be testing K&F Concepts K-Series star filter here. So this is a variable 4 to 8 star. We're going to be testing this next week. So it's going to be some night photography. So remember to subscribe to check that out. And if there's anything you want to learn about drones or photography, let me know in the comments section down below. Also, let me know what camera and lenses you have. And are you a beginner looking to get into photography? Subscribe for more videos on drones, photography, and everything in between. And YouTube recommends you check out these videos next. See you in the next one. Peace.